Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be ranking all of the LEGO Winter Village sets. So there are 13 LEGO Winter Village sets from 2009 to 2021. Of course, this year's being the Santa's Visit set, which I do have a review up on my channel, is one of my favorite Winter Village sets, as you will see in this video. And I think all the 13 are good sets. There are a few that I'm not the biggest fan of, and of course you will see those at the bottom of the list here. But I think they're all really good sets, and each year I'm really excited to see what they do, and I'm really excited to see what next year's 2022's Winter Village set brings. I'm hoping another really cool building like the last three, which I think, as you'll see in this video, I think are really, really great Winter Village sets. And yeah, now I'll just start with my number 13 spot on this list. So at the last and the 13th spot, I have the Winter Holiday Trains. This set released a few years back. It's a Winter Village train. It's a Christmas train set. It has some Christmas tracks. Not Christmas tracks, just train tracks. I think this is a good set. I'm not a big train fan, and I think that my thoughts on trains really come into that. I don't really find myself interested in this set. I think it looks cool with the village. If you have a bunch of Winter Village sets, I think it looks cool together. But I'm just a big fan of the buildings and the Christmas buildings like the gingerbread house. Those are the things that really get me interested into the Winter Village sets. Well, the train really doesn't. It just doesn't do anything for me, and I think it's a good set, but I really don't think it's the best or even close to the best Winter Village LEGO set. So at the number 12 spot, I have the Winter Village Station. This is the set that coincides with that train station. It came in the year after. I think the angle of this building is very nice. I think this is actually one of the cheaper Winter Village sets. The little bus that it comes with is also nice. I like the colors in there. And overall, I think this is good. It makes sense. I'm happy that they made something to go with the train. But I think it's smaller to me than a lot of the other Winter Village buildings that I really, really like. So that's why I wanted to put it a bit lower, and without the train, it's just going to look ridiculous, and I'm not a big fan of that train. So I think the overall design of it is really nice. I like the angle to it. It's just small, and it coincides with that train, so I don't think it's the best Winter Village set, but I think after that train, anything after here is really starting to go up and is a really good LEGO set. At the number 11 spot, I have the Winter Village Market. So this is the carousel with a bunch of different stands around it. This is a very good Winter Village set, I think. I like the carousel. Usually when I set up my Winter Villages, I don't have space to put this. I like to put the different market stalls around, but not more so the carousel. I think it's a nice set. I think it was a very interesting one. It's different, and I think it's different in a good way more than the train. I keep going back to that train. But yeah, I think this is a really good Winter Village set. I don't have too much to say for it because I really don't display it, so I don't, or like display it with my Winter Villages, so I don't get to really see all the details, and but I think it's an overall good set, and I think it goes really nicely with other Winter Village sets. So the next set I have on this list is the Winter Village Fire Station, and I think this is the best LEGO fire station that's ever been made. I love the architecture of this building. The ice rink's really cool, the fire truck is cool, the firefighter minifigures are really cool. I think the only thing that holds this set down for me is it feels less of a Winter Village set and more of a city set. It just feels like a winter city set to me. And I think that's why I have it so low on this list, or lower on this list, is just because I think it's a really good set. It's just, this doesn't feel like a Winter Village set to me. But overall, it's a really good set. It's a good addition to a LEGO city, but to me, less so to a LEGO Winter Village. But yeah, I like this set. And I like the minifigures, the architecture, the additional builds are really nice. I just don't think it's a great Winter Village set. So next on this list, I have the Winter Village Bakery, and this is, I think, where we really start to get into the nice sets, the really top quality Winter Village sets, even Lego sets. I love this building. It's a nice size. I think it's really, really cool. I like the additional builds here, and I think this is just a really good Winter Village set. I think it fits into a Winter Village great, a lot better than that fire station. And I think it's cool. I'd love to see a remake of this set, a bit bigger probably, especially considering the last Winter Village sets have been going up a bit. I think this year's one might have been $150 Canadian, maybe even 160. I'm hoping those sets don't go up to like 200 anytime soon, because these, I think the 150 is probably about as high as you want to go for these. But yeah, I think this is a really great set, and this is really where we start to get into some really, really good LEGO Winter Village sets. So next on this list, I have the Winter Village Post Office. This is another one I'd love to see a remake of. The side builds are really nice, and I really, really love that building shape. The window in the second building, or I think it's one building just attached together, and they kind of look like separate building. But the rounded window there, I absolutely love when LEGO does that. That's one of my favorite parts of Diagon Alley, especially with that Ollivander's build, is those windows, and I love that about this build. I'd love to see a remake of this. The side builds, I think, are good. I don't think they're as good as the bakery, but I think they're still strong side builds. And yeah, I really, really like this, and it's one of my favorite Winter Village sets. So the next set I have on this list is the Santa's Workshop. So this is a really nice set. It's one of my favorites. I do have it in my Winter Village right now. It can split off into two sections, which is really cool. Santa's sleigh build is nice. Not as good as this year's solo set, but it's still a really nice addition to this build. And I think it's a really good set. I like the architecture there, the design, just the colors there. I think they all come together. The elf minifigures, Mrs. Claus, Santa Claus, I think they're just all really amazing parts to this set, and they come together to make a really nice LEGO Winter Village set that I think is perfect in a LEGO Winter Village. Santa is such a prominent figure of the Christmas holiday, so it makes so much sense to have a set dedicated to Santa Claus. So this next set is the first LEGO Winter Village set, the Winter Village Toy Shop from 2009. And I really like this build. Just the shape of the building really interests me. The tree is probably one of the best LEGO Christmas trees I think I've seen. And I really like this. I like Santa's little work area, also the toy shop. I think it's just really cool seeing a toy shop made out of Lego. That's one of my favorite things. I love the Lego store builds that they make, and this one I really, really like. And it's cool to have a toy shop for the Christmas season and for your Lego Winter Village, and this is for sure one of my favorite Winter Village sets. Now, the next set I have on this list is very similar to the previous one, and that's the Winter Village Toy Shop, but this is from 2015, and this, I think, is a better set. I think it's more improved with the pieces it uses. Of course, it's a 6-year gap, so you're able to develop different pieces, and usually better pieces that might help with certain angles and shapes. And overall, this set looks so similar to its 2009 counterpart, and I think that's why this set might get a bit of flack by maybe the overall LEGO community, as this is just a remake of a set not too far previously out, because I'm sure that 2009 model probably retired in 2010 or 11, so this is only 4 years after that if it did retire in 2011. But I think this is a really good set, like I mentioned previously. I think the design here is really, really nice. I love the building, the Christmas tree is really nice, and all the minifigures together creates a really great Winter Village set that I think is a great addition to the LEGO Winter Village line. So the next set on this list is the Winter Village Cottage. I love myself some light blue builds, and this one doesn't disappoint at all. These side builds here are really nice. I love that little shack, the igloo build, and then the main cottage build is so nice. I really love this set, and I could see this on the number one for me if the number one set didn't exist, because I think a lot of these sets could be the number one set if it wasn't for how amazing my number one set is. But yeah, this cottage, I think the build is great. I love the angles used here. The side builds and the minifigures are really nice, and I think it's a great addition to the Winter Village collection. Now I've entered the top 3 with the Elf Clubhouse here. This set released in 2020. It has the sand green design with a bit of tan, dark tan in there as well. And I think this is an amazing set. It's a great idea. Of course, elves, Santa Claus, all very prominent figures in the Christmas holiday. So it makes sense to have a house for the elves. I really love the shape of this build. And I think the last 3, if you kind of have been keeping up with these Winter Village sets, you'll know what the next few sets are coming up, and this is the last 3 years are all in the top 3, and I think they've absolutely knocked it out of the park with these Winter Village sets in the last few years. They kind of skidded off a bit, in my opinion, with the train station, and the firehouse, but they've picked it up, and they've absolutely done an amazing job with the last few Winter Village sets, and I think this is an amazing, amazing addition to the Winter Village collection. So at the number 2 spot, I have this year's set being the Santa's Visit. So like I mentioned with the cottage, I love light blue, especially in these sets. I love the house build, the shape of this, the corner angles, all the angled pieces used, the fireplace, and the exterior of this build, the minifigures, the light up Christmas tree is so cool. And that's not even mentioning how detailed and amazing the interior of this build is. It has an absolutely beautiful minifigure scale, sort of minifigure scale kitchen where you can fit your minifigures, play around with them. There's the cool living room area, the kitchen, like I mentioned. There's the dining room area with a really nice table build, and there's obviously also the bedroom area. And I think this is such an amazing Winter Village set, and I absolutely love it. And it's just so nice, and I was so happy when I first saw this Santa's Visit Lego set this year. And when I built it, it didn't disappoint, and I think that earns its spot on as the second best Winter Village set, and it is an amazing, amazing addition to the Winter Village collection. If you know the Winter Village sets, you'll know that my number 1 set is the Gingerbread House. I absolutely love this set. The aesthetic of it is absolutely amazing. I love how this looks. It's a Lego Gingerbread House, and I absolutely love it. And sure, it doesn't have as many minifigures, but the minifigures are really amazing with the 2 gingerbread figures. There's also the cool little gingerbread tile there. A ton of little gifts, the tree, of course, and a few other side builds in there as well. But I just love this building. The shape of it, I really love, and just the aesthetic of it being a gingerbread house in Lego is so cool. The interior is really nice. I love minifigure style, scale interiors. I think they look so cool. There's so many spots for a minifigure to interact with. The little washroom, the bedroom, the kitchen, the living room, all of it just comes together. And the exterior, it just makes such an amazing Winter Village set, and for sure my favorite Winter Village set that's ever been made, and I don't know what can top it. So that was my list of the ranking the different Lego Winter Village sets. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it, going through all the different Winter Village sets. I'm really excited to see what next year brings with 2022. Probably won't hear about it for a while, but I'm hoping we see another building again, as you can see from those lists. That's really what interests me when it comes to these Winter Village sets. I'm not sure what else they can make in that really nice Christmas aesthetic that the gingerbread house has, and that's why I'm so question what could top that set for me, and I really don't know what it could be. I wouldn't mind a remake or a redesign of something like the bakery, the cottage, or the post office. I think those are far enough down the line that we could see something like that. And it doesn't need to be a re-release, basically, like that toy shop was. I think it can just be a redesign where the buildings don't necessarily have to be the exact same, but they can be similar, but they can still make really nice sets and probably make them larger because those do seem a little smaller, especially compared to what they're doing currently. But yeah, that was my list. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, and Merry Christmas.